Hey, what's up? Ryan here. So you built your books of knowledge. It's now time to write content. So content is king in my world. It just is. And while videos are cool, and that's definitely a positive thing, and I've got a whole different section on those. In fact, let's jump into it right now. Video and audio are the basis for all the content I create. If you watch the knowledge book video that I talked about how to build those books of knowledge, the way that I go about building them is generally by using ChatGPT to map out the book, to give me the questions to ask. Then I go interview or talk, one or the other. If it's my company and it's all flowing out of me, I talk just like this. If it's pulling from my team or from employees, I go conduct interviews. And if you're in human resources or you're the person that's over training new hires, this is great. Just stop thinking that you're the content creator. Start thinking that you're the interviewer. It will help you out immensely. If you put that interviewer hat on and you say, hey, it's my job to shine the spotlight and to pull this content from our team, from our employees, from our executives, you name it, it will really set the stage, right? So if you want to get great at creating content, then basically you start with just that. You say, look, this is number one, casual. Number two, interview based. Number three, I don't know all the answers. It's my job to pull the answers from the people who do know it. And that sets the stage for going, oh, well, I should just start scheduling some interviews. If you think about it, if you took, even just a couple interviews a week of an hour long or half an hour long to hop on Zoom, even if they're in the same building, hop on Zoom, hit record, both your faces are there, and just say, hey, I'm going to send them the questions ahead of time. Hey, I want to interview you. I want to talk about the founding of our company. I want to talk about our current mission. I want to talk about the current status of the ecosystem that we exist in. I want to talk about different business models in our space. Hey, I want to talk about, what our schema is for marketing, or what some of the influences are in our way that we approach sales, or, whatever the case may be. Just tell them what you want to talk about and then get on the phone and interview them. Get on Zoom and just ask them those questions. Record that content. That right there is the basis of all of my content engines, whether it's for marketing, whether it's training employees, whether it's new recruiting stuff, whatever the case may be. I always start at that point of saying, I want to gather knowledge about a topic. Hey, ChatGPT, give me some questions. Who should I talk to? And give me some questions to ask them to give you this amount of knowledge. Then I go out and I start talking to people and just recording it. Now, clearly you can choose whether you're going to use that recording in the future, meaning you're going to clip it up and turn it into a video, or whether you're going to use the audio. I think podcasting is probably one of the most overlooked ways to engage your employees because they can take it on the go. It's much easier for them to consume it, and they don't need to watch the video. Also, it's much easier to get your team to get on a podcast with you than a video because there's something about our face showing that we struggle with. And so interviewing these individuals and saving the audio clip allows you to take that and turn it into a podcast. I know that I think it's Podbean has a really cool private podcast, and that's what you're looking for, would be a private podcast, meaning only the people that you've given access to can actually get the episodes, not just everybody. So they still get on Spotify or Apple, but only the people you want to have access. But so that's how we get our base of knowledge. Now at that point, we can take that recording, plug it into ChatGPT, and say, hey, write us a blog post or an article or an engaging email or whatever the case may be. But that's basis of knowledge. Use this transcript and use our voice, the way we talk, to create for us this type of content for employees, who's the reader, to be able to learn more about whatever the case may be. And so I could actually give it an entire hour-long one, in which case I might say, hey, review the transcript and come up with 10 educational articles that could be written off of this transcript, and then I run that cycle over and over again to write those 10 articles. Surprisingly, seems kind of outrageous, I know, but once you get going, you will see that it is insanely easy to gather that transcript. Maybe you were on a Zoom call with your executive team talking about your culture. Maybe you're in a team meeting, people were asking questions, whatever the case may be. But those recordings turn to audio, create great podcasts. And that audio transcribed into text creates a great basis to feed generative AI to have it write engaging, flowing, really great educational content. And so that's kind of my entire schema of how I go about creating the content that I need to educate my team. At the end of the day, I'm going to end up with emails, potentially some blog post articles, some FAQ articles, some how-to articles. I'm going to end up with a drip email that points to all of these things. And then hopefully also some recordings or videos that I can spice it in there with that really gives that value. My goal is very similar to these videos, 5 to 10 minute chunks, right? I want to take and give whoever it is that I'm trying to influence or educate or engage 5 to 10 minute chunks, because I could probably get your attention for 5 to 10 minutes each day. And over time, if I get that attention longer, now clearly I have webinars I do for an hour long, right? And so those are more engaging type content. And if we're talking about new hires is a great example, right? I get my maybe 2 hour long new hire orientation. Cool. I might send out a 30-minute long video as soon as they accept an offer. Then I have my orientation. Then I have my 30, 60, and 90 day where I take maybe a half an hour to explain more stuff and open up a Q&A session. And so if I do that and I do it consistently, yeah, the orientation needs to happen on day one. But the 30, 60, 90, you could do in groups. That mean you can get a lot of people together if they're, plus or minus 30, 60, 90. It doesn't have to be on that exact day for just that person. But this process gives us the ability to really create amazing content that we record, that we turn into audio to send back again. Now, so we've got the big chunks. Now I'm going to take the 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to drip, 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 drip. So when you add that all up across 90 days, right, or 114 days in my normal kind of flow here, negative 14 to 90, if we think about that time period, hey, I might be able to actually give you 5+ hours of the bigger chunks. I might be able to give you, say, 5 to 10 minute chunks times, I don't know, like 30, depending on how much content I've created or how many interviews I've done. That adds up pretty significantly. That's effectively, 10 hours worth of information across that time period. Some of it's going to repeat. Some of it's going to be redundant. Some of it's going to build on each other. But that's okay, because we need to tell this story over and over and over again until we're blue in the face. Because these are brand new people. They're brand new people who don't understand any of the context around what we're doing. And so repeating it and following up, super valuable. But that is today's lesson on how to create content. Now, if you want help creating content, I've got some really cool tools at Talent AI Tools. I believe it's .io. I better check that, But yeah, so you can check out our Talent AI tools. More than happy to get you access to them. You should probably be able to see them down in the description on this video or in whatever email you got from us. And so go check them out. They are pre-trained AI tools that will guide you through step by step how to create the kind of content that you need for employer branding, for recruiting, for new hire activation, for employee engagement, alignment, performance, all that kind of stuff. They're just there to act as your buddy to help you walk through the process of creating amazing content using generative AI. So thanks so much for watching today. We'll talk to you again soon.